Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing. Today I'm working on a 2-page journal spread in my Dilutions 5x8 mixed media journal. Here are the supplies I'm going to use. That is a brand new journal. I decided to go ahead and get the smaller version. I love the Dilutions journal. Takes the medium really well. These are some of the papers that I'm going to be using. This is a jelly print that I made using Shawn Petite's lace stencil. I thought it turned out really, really well. And here I'm just prepping my journal to add my collage papers. And I'm putting some parchment paper there between the pages just so that I don't get any paint or water or anything seeping over the edges and affecting my other pages. I do struggle a little bit here getting that paper parchment paper to stay out of my way on the left side. So I did go ahead and use a clip to fasten that so that I wasn't too irritated. Here, that is a Liquitex matte medium that I'm going to be using to apply my papers. And again, I'm primarily using the jelly print that I did using Shawn Petite's lace stencil. I also do incorporate another page from one of her collage packs that's a really old newspaper that really, really is cool. It's got a lot of great words in it, and it's really old, and you can tell that by the print. So I am going to be using that. I did kind of want the jelly paper spread out, so I did tear it here and there and applied it randomly on the page. If you have not already checked out ShawnPetite.com, she is a fantastic artist. I'm actually part of one of 8 women that are on her creative team, and she's an incredibly inspirational artist, and she provides a lot of collage packs in her shop, and I use them a lot in my art. They just really meet kind of every need. So you'll be seeing that here in a bit. The vintage papers, I'm just in love with them. They just bring a look to any piece that is just very unique and antique, and I really like that look. And here again, I am applying that with Liquitex matte medium. I like it the best because it's thin and it's not sticky. Sometimes if you use Mod Podge or something like that, and your fingers are sticky with it, you can actually pull off parts of your image. And if you don't want that, then I would avoid the Mod Podge. It's great for just regular collaging, but if you don't kind of know what you're going to end up doing with your whole project, I strongly suggest using something a little bit higher quality than Mod Podge. And here is that newspaper print that I was talking about, and I'm just randomly placing it. I kind of want it to look like kind of the pieces are interrupted and they're over and under each other, and I really like that look, and as you'll see in a few minutes, it turned out really well. I am covering all of the white spaces on the journal pages because I did not gesso them. And if you don't prep them either with the gel medium via collaging, you do need to gesso the pages. Otherwise, the paper can't handle the various mediums that we often want to use in mixed media journaling. So, and here is another page that I used from her, one of her collage packs. It's just an old article, I believe. I don't have a copy in front of me. I kind of forgot what the whole of it looked like, but I'm just applying that just to kind of, again, fill in those white spaces. And I also use, oh goodness, I just lost my thought there. Some really bright and colorful ticketing kind of paper that you saw here a few minutes ago when I was showing the supplies I was going to be using. And it would really brightened up the page. I knew I wanted it to be brighter, which is atypical for me. I tend to go dark and deep, and I wanted this one to be really light and fun, and it definitely turned out to be that. And so here is where I'm kind of introducing little strips of that jelly print paper, just to kind of break up the page and make it look like it's in pieces, which it just gives a really nice effect. And the way that they're torn and cut, you'll see here as we move along that all those edges catch the different mediums that I use, which creates a lot of dimension and a lot of texture to the pages. It doesn't add a lot of bulk to the journal page, which is really nice because you do want them to be able to close at least somewhat. So I'm a little bit newer to art journaling. So I do most of my creating and expression on canvas or wood panels, but I've taken to the art journaling and really am enjoying that. And so here again, I'm just filling in all those white spaces. I don't want any of that page to be exposed to any of the paint and mediums that I'm going to be applying as I move along here. And I do thank you for your patience as I learn. I'm still learning how to do the editing and how to do transitions and things like that. So for a while here, it's going to be, I'm learning. So doing the best I can. And I know that as, practice kind of makes perfect, and I'll get better at it. And hopefully that will make the videos a little bit more pleasing. But want to get some content out there and share some of the creating that I'm doing. Is very inspirational, and I like to share that inspiration with people. So I hope you enjoyed. If you have not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, it would be so awesome if you did. If you like what I'm creating, it helps me to be able to be seen in YouTube, and that is just much appreciated. And there I was just showing a close-up of the pages once that paper is all in place. I did go ahead and I purchased this golden crackle paste. And I decided I wanted to use it on this project, but I neglected to see until after I started that the dry time recommendation on this crackle paste is 2 to 3 days. I don't have 2 to 3 days for anything, and so I did not use it in the end as crackle paste. I just used it more as texture because I already had it on the page. But as you'll see when I show the close-ups as I move along, it was beautiful, and it just really created some great effects on the 2 pages. And I had forgotten to attach the ticketing pieces that I talked about. And again, they're super bright and pretty, and so I wanted to get those in there. So I am adhering those again with the Liquitex matte medium, and then I will have to go back over them with a bit of that crackle paste as well. And it is important that you dry in between, so that crackle paste was dried with a heat tool. Had I let it naturally crack, it would have been phenomenal. I've used other crackle products, and they're really fun. And here I'm just coming in with a script stamp, just to kind of add some visual interest to the pages, just randomly placing that. I am using black archival ink from Ranger. It is permanent and waterproof, so it's really great for art journaling. I use it really pretty much for everything. So just moving around the page, adding that interest. And when you see the close-ups, it's just really beautiful on top of all that texture. So I am going to show you the close-up. There we go. And then I was going to try to do some embossing on this, but it didn't work. And so I went ahead and skipped to using modeling paste. And I actually did purchase some TCW light and fluffy modeling paste. It's lighter in weight, and it dries very quickly. And so I went ahead and used that because it's in the journal. I don't like the journal to be too bulky. And it was really super fast to dry. I did heat it with the heat tool when I'm done. But it dried very quick. And this is another one of Shawn Petite stencils, the Mediterranean minis. The Mediterranean stencils are my favorite. And you probably see them in many of my videos. That I like the design. They're just really simple and they fit kind of any project that you're doing. I would highly recommend checking out her shop. Her stencils are incredible. And here is a close-up of that modeling paste and a close-up of the crackle paste as it dried. And here I'm using Art Alchemy, a couple of different products. I'm using Art Alchemy Coral Green Opal Magic. And the beauty of this product is that on a dark surface, it actually is a different color than what it's showing in the jar. In this project, the sheen, kind of the not glitter, but the iridescence of the product went in between that modeling paste, and it was just beautiful, as you'll see again in the close-ups. So I'm applying that randomly, kind of framing the whole piece. And then I'm coming in with, this is Art Alchemy Metallic Green Olive. And I went ahead and added that to the top of the page and applied some water so that it would just run down. I apologize for the angle. My webcam sits very close to my head at this point, and so it's really hard for me to pick things up and move them with any space. So hopefully in the future, I'll be able to buy a webcam that actually has a zoom feature so that I can have my camera up a little bit higher. Probably not information you needed to know, but that's kind of the behind the scenes challenges that I have. So I was trying to show what I was doing here a little bit more, but was limited. And I do this dripping all around the page from top to bottom and then from side to side. And I wipe it back here and there because I don't want it to cover up all of that script and all of that beautiful texture in the background. And I love how it runs through and around those stenciled bits there, and it travels like magic. It's awesome. So as you'll see here, it's just kind of like a little river, just trailing through that modeling paste texture. So that was really fun to do. The Art Alchemy paints are really, really nice. They're fairly liquidy. And I have a lot of them, but I just haven't used them much lately. And then I brought in some golden yellow medium to add some yellow. Yellow is my favorite color, and it always represents peace and joy for me. And so yellow is in almost everything that I create. It's just a very soothing color for me, and it really added a lot to this page. Bringing in, kind of letting that pink pop up and the green kind of neutralizing things and making things look kind of, natural. And then the yellow just topped it all off and was a beautiful addition to the page. And here I'm just kind of blending it in and just applying it there with my finger. It's a little bit watered down. It's not full strength. And that kind of, you just go back and forth determining kind of intuitively where you need a little bit more color, want a little bit more color. And here is a close-up where you can see the texture of that crackle paste, the texture of the modeling paste, as well as the paint. It is just absolutely gorgeous. This turned out much better than I anticipated. And here you see off to the left, I have a partially scripted piece of paper there that says take a deep breath. I ran out of room on that tag. I really wanted that tag in the project, but my stamp letters were too big and they wouldn't fit. So I went to option 2, which was to go ahead and stamp them directly on my journal page. And the quote that I got was something that popped up on Facebook, and it says, "Take a deep breath of grace." And that was really meaningful for me the day that it popped up, which this happens often. I get inspired by something that I read, and then something creative is kind of birthed out of that because it starts in my heart and it proceeds to be how I express my thinking and my feeling around that concept or that idea. And I have some things going on in relationship, as I mentioned in another video. And it's requiring me to kind of step back and do a lot of introspective kind of thinking and trying to relearn how to walk in relationship with intention and kindness. And so, and we all need grace because we all mess up. We all are human. And so I really appreciated this reminder that we can just stop and take a deep breath and breathe in grace. Breathe in grace for ourselves, breathe in grace for other people, and it kind of sets our hearts right, I think. And so that's why this particular quote was really meaningful to me. And I hope that it is for you too. I hope that it lends some comfort, some peace for you and whatever you might be encountering in your life. Grace is a beautiful gift. It's a free gift that we can give to one another, especially in relationships, because, we're all just walking around trying to do the best that we can, and we do mess up. So lots of forgiveness is needed. And there's a close-up of that. And again, just another close-up of that texture is just, I can't get enough of it. And then before I even began this project, I knew that I wanted the green, which is not generally a color that I choose. But I saw this butterfly and needed to use it. It just seemed like it was the right thing. This is another item that is in one of Shawn Petite's collage packs. She has pages of butterflies, so they're really fun, and I love butterflies. I didn't always, but now in my journey, they do mean freedom and a lot of really good things. So I enjoy using them in my art as well. And I tried to come in, I was going to edge my journal pages with walnut stain distress ink. And so you're going to see me doing that, but it wasn't dark enough for my liking. And so I did go ahead and come back with another color after a little bit. I don't have that in front of me. I apologize. It's a Ranger large archival ink pad that has 4 colors. I think it's burnt umber, black, a gray tone, and maybe sepia. I'm not sure. Unfortunately, it's packed away for a workshop that I'm going to be doing this weekend, so I don't have it in front of me. And so I tried also with the sponge, thinking I could get a little bit more depth with it, but it didn't really work out the way that I had hoped. And so I do come in with, I believe, with that burnt, I think it's burnt umber or hickory something. Yeah, there it is. Hickory smoke. That's what the color is. Sorry about that. Hickory smoke is the color that I came around with the second time. And here when you're applying the gel medium, it sticks to the parchment paper. And so that was just me trying to pull that apart away from the backing. So, and as you can see, the hickory smoke was a much better color for kind of creating a frame around the 2 pages. I really liked that, and we'll probably be using it again and again. And then there, I'm just going to go ahead and remove that parchment paper that just is in the way and peeling off. That's the gel medium, and just peeling that off. And then the last thing you're going to see me do is I'm going to go ahead and, isn't that beautiful? Excuse me. I'm going to go ahead and shade around my butterfly. I started with the charcoal pencil, but there's too much texture under the butterfly, so that did not work. So then I went to the Stabilo All pencil, excuse me. I have not yet fallen in love with it. I need to play with it some more, but I just, for some reason, I don't like the dirty look of it. But I'm actually going to be following a book to teach myself how to draw, and a lot of the little lessons in it she uses the Stabilo All pencil. So I'm going to get messy and I'm going to give it a try. So hopefully I will like it. And here I'm coming in, bringing in some water to go kind of smudge that out and create the shadow. And I do come in also because I didn't like the Stabilo All pencil. And so I ended up using a baby wipe and wiping it off. And then I tried, my third option was my Inktense bark color pencil. Yeah, it's still my favorite. And Inktense pencils, once they're dry, they're permanent, which is really nice. So it doesn't require any kind of fixative or anything like that. And there's me wiping off everything that I had just done. And my last try will be the Inktense pencil, as you're going to see here in a moment. And I just use a water brush to the tip of that pencil and kind of use the pencil as a paintbrush. Because again, the page has too much texture to run a pencil along those lines. So still the Inktense is my favorite, but I'm hoping that I can give the Stabilo pencil a try, because I see a lot of artists using it and I like what it does in their art, but for some reason it just hasn't set right with me. But we'll keep giving it a try. I'm always up for trying new things, and you never know what you're going to discover when you try something again and again and finally find that you like it. So I hope that you enjoyed this video and that you'll come back and check out what's next. I'm slow getting up on YouTube because I work and it's hard to get videos edited, but I hope you enjoyed it and that you'll like and subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.